Case study: CTN Cash and Carry Ltd vs Gallagher Ltd. Introduction. The 1994 case of CTN Cash and Carry Ltd vs Gallagher Ltd is a leading English judgment concerning economic duress in contract law. It established a crucial distinction between legitimate commercial pressure and unlawful coercion in contractual relationships. This case study delves into the details of the case, its legal significance, and its lasting impact. Facts. A seemingly straightforward transaction between CTN Cash and Carry Ltd CTN, a cash and carry warehouse, and Gallagher Ltd, a tobacco distributor, spiraled into a legal dispute. CTN purchased cigarettes from Gallagher, expecting a standard delivery. However, due to a mistake on Gallagher's part, the cigarettes were delivered to the wrong location. Before Gallagher could rectify their error and retrieve the misplaced goods, they were unfortunately stolen. This error in delivery became a critical point of contention. Gallagher, facing the loss of cigarettes, argued that CTN was liable for the stolen goods. Their reasoning stemmed from the concept of passing of risk, a legal principle that determines when ownership and responsibility for goods transfer from the seller to the buyer. In this case, Gallagher maintained that the risk of loss had already passed to CTN upon delivery, regardless of the incorrect address. Legal issue. The core legal question in CTN Cash and Carry Ltd vs Gallagher Ltd hinged on the concept of economic duress. Did Gallagher's actions constitute economic duress, allowing CTN to reclaim the payment made under pressure? Relevant law. Economic duress. This legal principle allows a party to avoid a contract if they were pressured into it by a threat that was unlawful or illegitimate. The pressure must be so severe that a party has no realistic alternative but to agree to the other party's demands. Reasoning and holding. Faced with Gallagher's insistence on payment for the stolen cigarettes, CTN argued that they were pressured into making the payment under economic duress. They contended that Gallagher's threat to withdraw their credit facilities if the payment wasn't made was an illegitimate threat. Losing access to credit facilities would have significantly impacted CTN's ability to purchase goods and operate their business. Gallagher, on the other hand, likely argued that they had the legal right to withdraw credit facilities at any time and for any reason. Additionally, they might have emphasized that the risk of loss had already passed to CTN upon delivery, regardless of the mistake, making CTN liable for the stolen goods. The court, in its judgment, sided with Gallagher, while acknowledging the potential negative impact on CTN's business. The court concluded that Gallagher's actions didn't constitute economic duress. Here's the reasoning behind the court's decision. Lawful contractual right. The court determined that Gallagher had a legitimate contractual right to withdraw credit facilities. Contracts often include clauses allowing lenders to withdraw credit under certain circumstances. In this case, there was no evidence of Gallagher acting unlawfully or in breach of the contract by exercising this right. Threat vs. legitimate pressure. The court differentiated between an unlawful threat and legitimate commercial pressure. While Gallagher's actions placed significant pressure on CTN, they didn't involve any illegal threats or actions outside the bounds of the contract. Significance. Clarifying economic duress. The case clarified the boundaries of economic duress in commercial settings. It established that a threat to exercise a lawful contractual right, even if commercially inconvenient for the other party, doesn't necessarily amount to economic duress. This provided more certainty and predictability for businesses entering into contracts. Conclusion. The CTN Cash and Carry Ltd versus Gallagher Ltd case serves as a crucial precedent for understanding economic duress in commercial contracts. It differentiates between legitimate commercial pressure and unlawful coercion, ensuring that contracts are formed under fair and reasonable conditions. However, it also emphasizes the importance of clear and well-defined contracts to minimize disputes and misunderstandings. If you are a law student and looking for more case studies, visit our website www.mylawtutor.net.